I've used this pocket notebook every single day for the past 3 years and it's changed my life. Now you're probably thinking, yeah, right, okay, I'm sure it did, but really, it did. Here's how. 5 years ago, I started trying to build side hustles online to make some extra money while I was at university, but I kept running into one problem. None of them worked. I would fail at every single side hustle I tried to build. I was going to university for 4 to 6 hours a day. I was working 2 jobs. I was studying. I was trying to build these side hustles online and it felt like I never had enough hours in the day. And because I was stressed with how much I had to do and also trying to be a perfectionist, I would procrastinate at every single opportunity. It meant I got nothing actually meaningful done, anything that actually moved the needle towards my goals. I would stay up late, scrolling social media and pretending I was doing something productive, and then I would get around to like 12:30 at night and I would decide, right, I'm going to work on my side hustle. I would do 30 minutes of work, go to sleep and wake up at 7 AM the next morning just to repeat it every single day. But all of that changed 3 years ago when I bought one of these. I started to meticulously plan my life in a pocket-sized notebook, and all of a sudden I stopped procrastinating, I started to get more done, I started to see progress, and I actually had some free time. And fast forward today, I've built my audience on social media to over 500,000 people, 500,000 fucking people across platforms, which still blows my mind, and I've built my business to well over 6 figures, and I put most of it down to this notebook. Now, enough of the backstory. Here's how I used this pocket notebook to get my life together and make well over $100,000 in 2023. So the first thing I did when I got one of these notebooks was write about my dream life. I wrote about what I wanted my life to look like in every single way, from where I lived, to my girlfriend, to my habits, to my cars, to my income, to my dog, as well as my dream day-to-day schedule from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. I wanted to create this vivid picture in my mind of how I wanted to live, and that way I had a direction for my life and a filter to help me make decisions, because it allowed me to ask myself, does this activity or behavior align with my dream life? Will it help push me towards my dream life? And if it was a no, I found it really easy to say no, and if it was a yes, I found it really easy to say yes. And that made the second thing I did so much easier. I wrote down my goals for that year, goals for each month, and the daily actions that I needed to do to achieve those goals. And the reason it made this so much easier was because I could set goals that I knew would push me towards that dream life, and I understood the importance and meaning of both the goals and the work I needed to do every single day to achieve those goals. So I was so much less likely to procrastinate the work because it actually had some sort of meaning to me and what I wanted to achieve, and I wasn't just doing it because it's what I thought I needed to do. And those 2 steps were absolutely game-changing for providing this bigger direction to filter everything in my life through. But it was this third step that was really the game changer for me making progress and changing my life. I started planning every single hour of my day, so I can open up one of about 20 of these notebooks and go back and see what I was doing at any single hour of any single day over the past 1,000 days. And the way I did this and still do it is I take 2 pages. On the left hand side, I write down every single hour that I'm awake. On the right hand side, I first write down the daily actions that will move me towards the goals that I created in step 2. These are my number 1 priority, so I write them down first. I then write down the busy work tasks that don't necessarily make progress, but they need done. So the likes of emails, admin, that sort of stuff. I then write down all my habits like working out, reading, walking, and all the rest. And finally, I write down all my life stuff, so the likes of groceries and general chores. I then go through each task I wrote down and assign it to a certain hour of the day, assigning my most important tasks earliest in the day so I'm way more likely to get them done. And think about it, your willpower is limited. So if you're waiting till after you go through a whole day of work, go to the gym and deal with life in general to do the important work that moves you towards the goals that you want to achieve, and you're waiting till 9 PM to do them, you're so much more likely to procrastinate. You're so much more likely to put it off, not do it, or to have something to come up that actually stops you from doing it. But if you just got up earlier, got your most important tasks done, out of the way, you don't have to worry about them for the rest of the day, and you can start your day off with a massive win. So I schedule my most important tasks, then my busy work, then my habits, then my life stuff. Now, I'm pretty loose with when I do all of these. For example, sometimes I'll train at 11 AM, sometimes I'll train at 3 PM. It really depends what I have on in the day, but every task is assigned to an hour. And obviously, if a task is only going to take 20 minutes, I might assign another 20-minute task or 40-minute task to that block as well. So I'm pretty loose with when everything gets scheduled, so long as it gets scheduled. But the one thing I'm not loose with is when I do my most important tasks. They get done between 5 AM and 10 AM every single morning. They are non-negotiable. Now, I do all of this and I plan each day the night before. That way, when I wake up, I don't have to make any decisions. I just look at the schedule, I stick to it, and I follow it. Everything's already decided. And on a Sunday, I go through the coming week and plan everything that is already set in stone. So the likes of calls, appointments, or anything else that's already booked in. So that way, when it comes to me planning an individual day, I'm planning around what is already set in stone. And doing this has changed my life and my productivity forever. Because I have this schedule, I know why all the tasks I'm assigning are important. I follow it. I don't want to procrastinate because I want to achieve my goals, live my dream life, and I understand the work is essential for doing that. So I get more done, I get it done in less time, I do it to a much higher quality, and I actually enjoy doing it because I know the importance of everything in my schedule. But the thing is, we all have bad days. We all have days where we didn't sleep well and you don't feel like being productive. So to help with that, I have 2 principles that I use to pretty much guarantee that I always complete the work and that I always do it to a high standard. The Jerry Seinfeld technique. This is where you give yourself 2 options. When you sit down to work, you can either do the work or stare at a wall. You can't do anything else. You can't scroll your phone, you can't watch YouTube, you can't read a book, you can't talk to anybody. You either do the work or you stare at a wall. Now this works so brilliantly because you have the option of not actually doing the work. It guarantees that you will stick to your schedule and sit down at your desk. And if you choose to stare at a wall, that's 100% fine. You're allowed to do that. But I can promise you this, if you stare at a wall for 5 minutes, you will want to start working. So this massively helps with you actually getting to your desk, not procrastinating, so long as you're true to yourself, so long as you're honest to yourself and you stick to the 2 options and you don't cheat yourself by scrolling your phone. But luckily, the second principle helps with that. Deep work. Deep work is a concept coined by Dr. Cal Newport, and essentially it's doing your important tasks in a state of high focus with 0 distractions for about 60 to 120 minutes at a time. Nothing is going to improve your productivity, quality of work, and progress more than this because of the way it facilitates flow and focus. So remove any distractions such as your phone from your workspace, which removes reasons to procrastinate. You can't pick up your phone and get distracted or cheat yourself when your phone isn't in the same room as you. And then set a 60 to 120 minute timer. Embrace the first 15 to 20 minutes of friction and you'll enter flow where you and the task become one. Doing this has genuinely changed my life. I went from being lost, broke and unfulfilled to running a 6-figure business and having over 500,000 followers at 22. All thanks to this pocket notebook and how it helped me be more productive, make more progress and get my life together. So my friend, as always, thank you for watching. That is it for this video. Make sure you check out this video here, click that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.